Good afternoon, everybody. The Sabres are back in action. All right, folks. I know that you folks out there are having one hell of an ordeal with the weather. You know, USA Today, Buffalo winter storm deaths reach 37. CNN, winter storm death toll rises to 37 in Buffalo. As criticism arises over handling of storm and cleanup. I mean, you're going to get that too. You know, folks, before I start talking about the game, I've been through these things different. You know, this storm sounds really intense though, what I'm hearing. 37 deaths. I mean, my goodness. You know, it's just, and this was something people were prepared for ahead of time to a degree. That's what's scary about this. You know, Mother Nature has no mercy when it comes down to it. How small we are to Mother Nature is just incredible. So thoughts go out to these families, and hopefully they can somehow try to have some sort of a normal, not holidays, but just a normal life from this point on, these people that have lost loved ones. So thoughts go out to them. Okay, let's talk now about the game. And I'm sure there's mixed emotions for everybody with everything going on in Buffalo. But folks, this might be a good diversion for a lot of people's morale right now out there. So, and what I'm hearing, it's still very intense that they're actually getting a game in, right? The NHLPA is actually forcing this issue from what I'm hearing. Okay, so Detroit's in town to play the Sabres. Detroit, their last 10, folks, are 4-4-2. Sabres are 7-2-1. They've won 4 in a row. Detroit's won 2 in a row. Here's the thing. Buffalo at home, 7-8-2. Detroit on the road, 7-5-4. We've pretty much had their number until that third period last time we played them. And it kind of snapped our slump, if you remember. That kind of was the game that kind of started turning things around. We're going to have to see today, guys. I mean, as far as I know, Owen Power's back. We should be in good standing when it comes to our blue liners being. Let me just check. I want to check cap friendly as we're talking. We should be okay with the health of the team today. I am just checking. Okay. It says here Bryson is still out, but I heard he's playing. I just heard Granato saying he's playing also, so we'll see. Yokiharu hurt. Comrie, I still don't know what exactly went wrong there. You know, we're not having much luck with goaltending staying either healthy or consistent, so we have to hope that starts to happen. Might be time, guys. Might be time to look elsewhere just to get another blue liner in to stabilize things a little. I'm just saying, just another blue liner. Nothing extravagant or expensive, no. But somebody that can come in and fill the need of maybe a third pair defenseman, just to get somebody in there to stabilize things a little. Wouldn't hurt, I think, just to pick somebody up. So maybe we'll do a video on that eventually. All right, so the guys, they're back. They're playing. Finally, we got a game. I can't recall, talking about this storm, I just want to touch on this storm again. I can't recall ever games being canceled ahead of time. Days ahead of time, so they knew what was coming over there. And I tell you, the Buffalo fans, if that's not a hockey market, I don't know what is. My goodness, some of the storms you guys get out there are just crazy. You know, when I was a kid, I'd look forward to playing in this kind of weather, believe it or not. I mean, not the weather you guys had out there, but, very, very intense cold winters. I'd be outside playing and, not now. No, not now. I can't stand the winter now. So, getting back to the game, guys, I think, what I was thinking is if Detroit and us are in a run late in the year trying to get in, and it's very possible that could happen, these head-to-head meetings are what's going to make or break who gets in. If it's going to be us or Detroit, because it could come down to that. It could. All of a sudden, Florida guys can, hockey's a weird sport. All of a sudden, a team can just bottom out all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on in Florida, but they don't look like they're about to snap out of it. That team doesn't look like they're going to snap out of it. Ottawa looks like they overpaid again for quite a few players. And I think Detroit, in my opinion, is overrated. I don't think they're as good as us. I just don't think their roster is even going to... I don't think their roster is close to our roster. They could beat us. They had our number last year, but our team's a year older this year. And it seems like when we play them, we're ready. It's a good team, Detroit, but they're supposed to be. The amount of money they're spending on their team, too. Let's not forget that. You know, they're paying a lot more money than we are for their team right now. And they're going to be ready to play us because I think there's going to be a revenge factor in their dressing room this time. But I think if anything, guys, the Sabres should be motivated for what happened in the community out there just in the last few days with all the tragedy. And that should be enough to uplift the Sabres to playing a good game today and being ready. It's going to be a high emotional game, I believe. And I don't know if they're going to do something in the pregame. They might be too soon because this isn't really over yet. Maybe they're going to wait till things have changed out there in Buffalo before they'll do some sort of pregame for the victims, of this tragedy, this storm. So I honestly can't remember a storm out here in Montreal that claimed 37 lives, guys. And I've seen some horrible storms out here. Horrible, we get brutal weather also. But it seems like Buffalo it's that much more fierce the winter because you're right near the water, right? So that makes it even more intense, that cold front that comes in. So it's scary. It's scary what goes on in Buffalo. I remember when I was going to move to Buffalo years ago, in around 07, I was thinking of moving out there and bringing my business with me at the time. And one of the things I remember I considered in my head, well, they got heavy-duty winters in Buffalo. But it's like I'm used to that. I would know how to handle it. I know how to react in a situation, a crisis, because losing our power here. I can tell you the ice storm out here, guys, was one of the most scary experiences I've lived. I mean, it was to the point where I didn't know this. We were down to one grid. And if that grid collapsed, they were going to evacuate the whole province out here, the whole province. They didn't tell us this. They kept it hush because they didn't want a full-scale panic, right? We weren't prepared for the ice storm back in '98. We were not prepared for it at all. Trees were collapsing. I mean, you'd be outside and you'd have to watch where you're walking because chunks of tree would fall just randomly all of a sudden, It's not the same as what you guys are going through. It's a little different, but it's kind of the same when it comes to what happened with the ice storm compared to what a snowstorm for us out here was. And you guys had one, and you might recall in early 07, I believe it was, right? When, was it 06? It was 06, early 06, 07 season. Anyway, in Buffalo, I remember when they had that ice storm, and I was thinking, they didn't have an ice storm like out here. It was crazy out here. So I can't imagine what you guys are going through out there. But look, hang in there, guys. Hang in there. It will pass. But my goodness, if this doesn't bring the community even more closer together, I don't know what will. So God bless you all out there. Just hang in there. I'm going to stop rambling. I just really want to talk more about the storm, I think, than even the game today. It's something like this always kind of hits me later, guys. I start looking at it later on, and I start, thinking, what are these folks going through out there? Like, this is just nuts. Like, it just seemed like there was no let up there for days. So I will be checking the notes. So throw in the notes what's going on, where you live. I'm definitely interested. I'll be reading those notes. And hang in there, guys. Just hang in there. All right. I'll see you guys in the post game. Let's get it, Sabres. Let's get this one. Let's get this win for the fallen comrades and fallen Sabres fans tonight, unfortunately. And we'll just take it. We'll pick up the pieces from there as fans, and hopefully you guys just stay strong out there. All right? I'll see you later.